Hey guys, so this is going to be another tutorial. It's going to be on scrapes and scabs. It's another thing that I learned at Cosmics. It's super simple. Again, what I'm going to show you is not going to replace the education that you can get by going to school for makeup, but I just thought it'd be a little fun tutorial to make. So what you're going to need for a scrape, all you're going to need is a little bit of water, which I have in a spray bottle, some real thick blood, it looks like this, it's thick, and a stipple sponge. For a scab, you're going to need spirit gum. I have Krylon spirit gum. You're going to need a brush that you don't mind getting beat up, because you're going to need alcohol, and alcohol kind of makes your brushes a little rigid. Take a Skin Illustrator palette or Real. I also have Real Creations effects palette as well. That works too. And a little bit of blood and a palette. And last but not least, of course, we need our scab. So all this scab is a snowflake. A snowflake, oh my god. A cornflake. That I squirted water on and it moistened it up so it's a little bit more malleable than a stiff cornflake. So I'm going to show you a scrape first. It's super simple. I'm going to take a palette knife. I'm just going to scrape a little bit out, just a little bit onto my palette. And I'm just going to squirt it with like 1 or 2, 3 squirts of water. And the water breaks it down, so whenever you're trying to clean up fake blood off of your palette, off of yourself, use water, not alcohol, because the alcohol is actually going to set it more than anything. So I just kind of scraped it off a little bit. I'm going to take my stipple sponge, and what's cool about this stuff is I didn't completely get rid of the clumps, so it's a little bit watery, a little bit thick still. And whenever you're making a scrape, make it sure that it's like straight down. Don't make it zigzaggy, because that would be a weird way to fall down. So I'm going to make my scrape right here. And then just kind of do that to it. So it looks like I fell down. If you have like a thing called a product called Fuller's Earth, you can add some dirt to it to make it look like you fell in the dirt, or to make it, you know, in the center of a scrape or something, you have like that oozy skin. It's like starting to heal, which is about to create the scab. What you can do is grab a tissue, or sorry, Q-tip. I can't pronounce anything today. Squirt it with some water. Make like a mark of where you want that part of the skin to be, and just kind of get rid of it really fast. Alright, so you got like a hole in your scab right there where that skin is going to be oozy and raw. Now take your effects palette, get a little bit of yellow, more alcohol. Place this yellow right in the center of where you want that part of the skin to be oozy. And then what you can do is take some spirit gum and put it on that area, and this is going to make it look really moist and gross looking. so that it looks like you really just scraped your knee or arm or chin or something like that. And that is how you do a scrape. Okay, so now for the scab, you're going to take your spirit gum and you're gonna apply it right where you want the scab. I'm gonna do it on my arm again. So I'm gonna put my scab right where I had my scrape earlier. I'm gonna apply it there. And then I'm gonna take my cornflake and pop it on there. So now that my scab is on there, I've got to color it. So I'm going to color it brown. I'm going to mix a few colors from my effects palette to make that brown. And now you only want the brown to be right where that scab is. Now we gotta color around the outside because when you have a scab, obviously the skin around it's a little bit raw. So I'm gonna take some of my red in this palette here. And you don't want it very opaque, just a little bit raw. And don't make it go all over. Obviously there's only gonna be certain areas that are very, very red, so don't go all the way around that scab. You can see it. And then you can add a little bit of blood to it. So I'm going to take my thick blood again, or you can just take normal blood that you got. So I'm just going to put that like right under the scab so that it looks like I'm all bleeding now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a scab. So I hope these were cool tutorials for you. Super simple, nothing crazy, but you know, nonetheless fun. So until next time, I'll talk to all of you soon. Bye!